going live.
Episode 100. It's hard to believe we're here, but that's what dedication will get to you. Welcome to the Real Forno Show. We're going to talk about Alexander Mattison, cornhole, and the state of the Vikings running back room. This is an echo-free episode of the Real Forno Show.
Welcome to the Real Forno Show. Managing editor of the USA Today's Vikings Wire. Betting and college football analysis for the Fantasy Points website. Publisher of Substack Run and Shooter. Host of The Good, The Bad, and The Hungry on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. As well as a founding member of Vikings First and SKOL.
You are looking live. Welcome to a very fun episode of the Real Forno Show. I am your host, Tyler Forness. With me, as always, in the top right corner, his name is producer Dave. Dave, what's in the glass tonight?
What's in the glass? Bourbon. What type of bourbon? Texas bourbon. I really sort of fallen in love with this. It's a very, very good bourbon. Has notes of cinnamon that I like, and a little bit of sweetness. It's absolutely delicious. And as you can see, people are congratulating you on your 100th episode.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's really cool. Dave, you and I have been podcasting together for over 3 years now, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so. About that. Sounds right.
And we've been doing the Real Forno Show for just over a year. It started at the beginning of April of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, obviously had a couple of co-hosts, and we are no longer associated with Climbing the Pocket. And it's us now. And that's really, really cool.
Yeah,
David,
nothing wrong with that. We went out, struck out on our own, blazing our own trail. And speaking of blazing our own trail,
from one very tall football analyst to another, congratulations on 100 podcast episodes. I know how difficult it is to put together 100 podcast episodes in anything, much less on football, especially when you're as wrong as you are. Here's to hoping for 100 more episodes.
I don't know what the best part is, the fact that I got the classic Arif insult in there, or he called himself as a tall football analyst. That was tremendous. Dave, that was great. Thank you for that. I do want to comment to David Nelson. Where's my echo? We fixed it on a technicality, but here's what you can do. If you go like this to a speaker and put it up right next to it, you can hopefully get a little bit of one. Otherwise, you won't be getting one outside of that. And that's okay. Odie is down by me. He is hanging out. He is chewing on a bone. Big shout out to Mary, who sent Odie a nice little birthday care package. He turns 1 on Wednesday, so I'll try and get him on the show. We'll see if he wants to cooperate. He doesn't like me picking him up, so he associates me picking him up with putting him in the crate. He hates it, Dave.
Oh,
absolutely hates it.
Yeah, you trade them young, and it's their safe space, right? And that's what you want. I want to say hi.
Hold on. He's fine being in there. He doesn't want to go in there. That's the problem.
All right. See, my dogs, when we crate trained them, they always knew that was their safe space. Nobody could mess with them when they were in their crate, right? So they learned that going in their crate was their safe space, and they would go that way. I will say hello to everybody who's on there. Julian, welcome to the show. David Chains, Mr. Bob Swede, Raymond, good Raymond's there. David Nelson. David, you got a great first name. Where's your echo? Yes. Who else? Norsevius, wishing you a happy 100th. My Worthless Opinions with us tonight. And I think that's about it so far.
Hey, welcome everybody. This is going to be fun. And I would challenge you right now, if you have the ability to pull up the article that is featured on VikingsWire.com about Alexander Mattison and cornhole, because we're going to talk about that. And then right afterwards, we're going to talk about the state of the running back room, which is also featured on the homepage as well. Super easy to find, and it'll help you kind of follow along. So I had the opportunity to go out to Ramsey where they were hosting a cornhole event. And it wasn't just a cornhole event. It was the Super Hole prelim sponsored by Johnsonville. And what that means is they pair up a pro. One of the pros was actually Adam Thielen's cousin, Josh. So that's a nice little twist here to this whole thing. But Alexander Mattison was one of the celebrities competing, and the winners get to go to Rock Hill, South Carolina on the 4th of August to compete to win $100,000 for their charity. I'm not going to lie. I was a little weirded out. I'm like, it's cornhole. Do I really want to go? And I'm glad I did. It was entertaining. And it wasn't just entertaining in the fact that, okay, you have celebrities, this, that, or the other thing, but it was entertaining in the fact that these guys are really good. It's not like your backyard cornhole. It's a lot of strategy, a lot of gamesmanship, and it was a lot of fun to... Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have to interrupt the show. My writer for Vikings Wire, Kevin, just said I'd cut my hair if I get 10 more viewers. And then he says right in, okay, you got me. He didn't say this. Tremendous. I ain't cutting my hair for you, bud. I'm sorry. I will cut my hair eventually. It ain't happening yet. But so I go out there and I don't know what to expect. I end up having a nice conversation with Alexander Mattison, which is what the piece is kind of focused on. And he ended up winning the thing with his teammate, Noah Almanza, who was the 7th ranked player in 2022. And what was really impressive is how effortless he made everything look. And he was just a really good thrower of the bag. And there's like real strategy. It's not just like, oh, I need to get one on the board or one in the hole. There's a lot to it. And what really impressed me about the whole thing was just how much fun everybody was having. And Mattison hadn't actually heard of cornhole until he got to Boise State. Apparently it is not a thing in San Bernardino, California. Whereas when you live in the Midwest like we do, or sorry, most of us do, that's a pretty normal thing. It's something I have my own custom cornhole board.
Decades.
Yeah, I have my own custom Vikings boards in my garage, and it was a lot of fun. And let me tell you, these guys were good. They had fun. If you were watching live on ESPN2, you saw this ugly mug probably about 40 times because I was sitting in the VIP seats right behind the celebrities. It was a lot of fun. And Mattison, just the joy of a human being, just super nice, wide smile for everything. Loved that he was there. And he really embraced the idea of playing cornhole because it was a different... I asked him, like, how different is this from your football training? Because it's very different. He's like, it's nice because I don't really have to think. I can just it's a different style. It's more technical. I can use it to really unwind and have fun. And he did. And you could see that not just from him, but Olympic swimmer Ryan Lochte, Scott Porter, who played Jason Street in Friday Night Lights, and then Kyle Cook. Like, all those guys had a great time. And it was fun to watch and just see them be able to kind of unwind. And they were celebrities, but you never got the feeling that they were celebrities. They were just people just having a good time. And I thought that environment really was conducive to that.
That's freaking
the what?
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. I recommend you read the piece. There's a lot more details, including info on the ACL, which is the American Cornhole League. No, it is not the joint in your knee. It was a really cool experience, but we're here to talk about the running back room. And
I got something first.
Hey, Tyler, congrats on making it to 100 shows. It's now officially too late to change careers. You're stuck here. Welcome to hell. But seriously, man, it's clear you do the work. And you and I disagree a lot, which is fun in a really fun way. But I'll always have respect for the fact that you do the work. And it's always earnest and honest. And that's not something you get a lot in this little corner of the internet. So I appreciate you. And here's to 100 more good shows. Good luck, buddy.
Oh, that was really nice. Luke is one of my favorite people in the space because he approaches things in a very similar way to me. And I like that he says he likes that we disagree a lot, because we do. We try our best to be genuine and honest with our opinions and try to get the right piece of information and not just try to follow a line or be like, we try to be right. And we're going to be wrong, but we try to be right just by being honest with ourselves. And I appreciate that he sees me the same way I see him. And that was really cool. Luke is...
You both put in a ton of effort into it. And to try to get stuff behind the scenes, not just on Sunday, Alexander Mattison ran for 83 yards.
Yeah, okay. But why?
Tell me more. Why? And what did Alexander Mattison do this weekend? Hey, I wrote about it at Vikings Wire. He was at the Pro Cornhole, Super Cornhole tournament. Blah, 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 blah. And that what makes you both stand out.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm gonna have to thank both of them here in a little bit, but we should get to talking about the running back room. And it starts with Alexander Mattison. Mattison, I look, I'll be honest. When I was there, I didn't talk to him about football. I wished him the best, and he asked, "You're really not gonna ask me any football questions?" I'm like, no, you're not here for football. That's to me, that's kind of disrespectful. Like, to take advantage of, I'm going to be covering this person doing this thing, but then ask them questions about something completely different. I don't have a journalism degree, but to me, that doesn't that doesn't equate. That doesn't line up. It's so we just talked about cornhole, and I wished him the best, and he was very genuine. And I did ask him, like, are you excited? He's like, yeah, I'm excited. So that was cool. Norcefius, there was an update available that we found after the show. I updated it, restarted it. Bingo, bango, bongo. No idea what the issue was, but we fixed it, and that's what matters. So here's the thing with Mattison. I don't think you have a really high ceiling with him, but the nice part is you have a very low floor. And when...
A very high...
Sorry, yes, very high floor.
High floor.
Yeah. Sometimes when you have players that can do a little bit of everything, it really helps you in disguising things for the defense. And if I bring in a one-trick pony, this guy can only do one thing. Well, the defense knows you're only going to be doing that one thing. Mattison can do a little bit of everything. I don't think he does anything particularly at an extremely high level, except effort, which is always appreciated. But because he can do a little bit of everything, there's a mystery on what he's going to do play in and play out. And I think that mystery is going to help him a lot as he transitions to this lead role in the Vikings backfield. He can pass block well. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can run zone. He can run power. He can, you can do a little bit of everything. And that means so much when defenses are trying to combat you. And I really appreciate that. And will he be as good as Dalvin Cook? Look, the answer is no. He's not going to be. And that's okay. Like, Dalvin Cook is a special type of running back. He had special abilities coming into the league. Those are waning because he's been beaten up and he's been playing football in the NFL for 6 seasons. That just happens. Mattison is also a shockingly young 25. And he's younger than Ty Chandler and Kene Nwangwu. That's wild. And you kind of piece everything together. It kind of lines up. Madison's not going to have those special type runs, but what he's going to do is probably get you like 20, 30 yards instead of 40 or 50. And it's something with his skill set and cost, because cost is huge here too. Maximum of $4 million. He's going to get $3.5 million this year and next year. He has $500,000 each year available in bonuses, $250,000 to get at least 750 yards, another $250,000 if he breaks 1,000. That's just rushing yards. So they're easy bonuses to hit. And if he hits them, I don't think anybody's going to complain about him making $4 million a year. That's fine. And because of the nature of what he's done prior, they're not likely to be earned bonuses, so they don't count against the cap right now. but they're easily attainable for Mattison. So I kind of like that, but we'll see how he's able to adjust to being the guy. Last year didn't get much run, and a lot of that had to do with just how Kevin O'Connell was running this team. He didn't do a lot of rotation. I think, and this is just me like spitballing, so I don't know this for a fact. I think they knew Dalvin was long in the tooth, and they were going to get rid of him. And that was kind of the long-term T-building idea. So they ran him into the ground, so to speak. They used him like a workhorse. And I don't think they thought they were going to be able to keep Mattison, but they were able to. And I think that could end up being a really big asset for the Vikings. Even though I'm not the highest on him, I think there's still a lot of positives. So Mattison in this backfield, I think, is really cool. And it's a lot more inexpensive than Dalvin Cook. And I think that's a really big thing.
I've got a question for you. Today, you were on Score North with Thor. And I'm going to put this aside just a second because I just got somebody pop in. I wonder who just popped in. I'll move this out of the way so I can see. And there we have it. Mr. Devin Jackson. Welcome to the show.
What's going on? Just wanted to stop by and congratulate you, man, on your 100th show. You didn't even say anything in our group chat, but Dave reached out to me and told me you were doing your 100th show today, so had to stop by and tell you congratulations on that, and love the work that you're doing, and very proud of you, man.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it because, I mean, it is a cool milestone, but I don't know. I'm not the kind of guy to be boastful. Like, it's cool, and I greatly appreciate you saying those kind words. You know the amount of respect I have for you, and you can pull off those glasses, and I freaking can't. I mean, that just look at them. They're very nice and stylish. You think this mug could pull them off? No, I got too much hair. Like that, I don't think that would work out well. But no, I appreciate it, man. And I do. While you're here, I need your opinions on Alexander Mattison and his excellent cornhole performance from Friday.
Yeah, funny enough, actually, I was watching the cornhole championships, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And obviously I saw kind of what you were talking about his performance this weekend, but very impressive for someone like myself that's not really good at it. My girlfriend's way better than me at cornhole. It's definitely a skill and something you got to practice hours and hours. So big ups to Mattison and what he was able to do this past weekend, but it's certainly not an easy thing to play. And even just playing in the front yard. I mean, it's all about strategy. Can you get in the hole? If you don't, can you get your other bags in the hole without getting your opponents? So it's a whole strategy and game. So I got to give him big ups for that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I would recommend anybody actually go to an event. It's a lot different because it's like a 10-round format, and it's who's winning after 10 rounds. And I think that makes it a little more fun because otherwise it's just like, round 47, it's 15-12. All right. Like, because like when you play in the backyard, games can go anywhere from like 10 to 30 or 40 minutes because you just keep waiting for somebody to actually win. And I think that's really cool. But no, I appreciate you stopping by, Devin. Those are some really nice words. And I'm grateful for both your friendship and your and having a great professional relationship with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Likewise, man. Definitely gonna run to you soon. Obviously, to talk some college film. Now that I'm starting to get back to it, but like I said, just wanted to stop by, tell you congratulations on the 100th episode, and continue the great work, man.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Well, hey, you and I will be talking soon, and I'm gonna have to have you talk me off the ledge that I may actually have hope for Graham Mertz. I'm gonna need somebody to do that. I know. But hey, you take care, man. We'll talk soon, all right?
Thanks, Devin.
For sure. Take care.
And
Dave,
we're back.
You just have a super show lined up for me, and I have no idea what the hell's going on. I thought I was just gonna be talking about running backs all night.
Well, you did talk like I was getting into earlier. You were on the show with Score North today. You were doing the daily draft about Alexander Mattison. In the daily draft, you were talking about Scene and some other players and how you would view them drafted. And go way in the Wayback Machine. How did you rate, or did you at that time, when Alexander Mattison got drafted?
I'll be honest, I didn't like it. I thought there were better running backs on the board at the time. I'll be honest, I couldn't name them off the top of my head, but I know a lot of other people thought he was a reach and he would have gone like a round or two later. But then when you kind of looked at his profile and saw what he was and how he was a true zone runner and he could do a little bit of everything, I'm like, okay, maybe this guy makes some sense. And then he had those wow moments where he would just literally leap over guys like he was Josh Allen over Anthony Barr. And those were not uncommon. So I kind of looked at him like, okay, maybe I'm just overlooking this guy a little bit. And I think I did overlook him a little, but I also I don't think he's lived up to being pick 102. And that's not necessarily a result of being his fault. I mean, he's behind Dalvin Cook. How many opportunities are you really going to get behind one of the best running backs in football? And the Vikings, paid him as such. So, I think the pick was fine, but I also think they could have done a better job with the pick instead of taking a running back. When you have Dalvin Cook, you could have done that around 5 or 6 and been fine. Hold
on. I've got another.
Oh boy, here we go.
Let's see who this is. There he is.
Congratulations, Forno. Magic 100. Very nice. Nicely done. How you doing?
I'm good. I mean, I know you do like 100 shows a month, so me just getting to 100 shows is not nowhere near the bar that you've set for me. But I appreciate it.
It's still impressive. Still impressive. Congratulations. Nice job by Dave too.
Yeah, honestly, Dave putting up for me for 100 solo shows, I think, is more impressive than me actually doing 100 solo shows.
I'm prepared to toast you right now too.
Oh, what you drinking?
Oh, it's a Furious.
Of course, it's a Furious. Let's see if I can turn it right. There it is. Surly Furious. Good pour too. Got to get the good pour, right?
Hey, sir, we have plenty of practice.
If you don't have a non-compete with Score North, I am accepting sponsorship deals. Just saying.
Well, congratulations, man. That's still, it's impressive. It's impressive. You got to stick with it as to get to 100 episodes, and that's always a good thing. So I am offering you my congratulations. And I did file a column today as well. So
yes, I'm going to edit that. Shockingly, Dave or Judd, we have a lot of content right now. I've got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So it'll go out tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on how I want to structure things. But
take your time. It's not timely.
Perfect. Oh, that's
it's
perfect.
Not timely. It can hold Wednesday, Thursday, whatever works for you.
Perfect. Well, hey, I appreciate you stopping by and the kind words. Judd, unless something big happens, you're off the clock till after the 4th. Enjoy a break.
I will most definitely, because I cannot wait for training camp start. It's going to be, I am so curious about how things shake down. So thank you, Tyler. Congratulations. Thank you, Dave. And you guys have a great night. Now go back to talking about that running back room. No Dalvin.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Thanks a lot, Judd. I appreciate it.
See you guys.
And we're back to this screen.
Man, you should have put this in the rundown. I'm really taken aback here. This is really cool, Dave, and I appreciate you taking that time for me and everybody else saying all the kind words. And it's I didn't think we were actually going to have a celebration of the 100th episode. I was just kind of being a little facetious, but I will gladly take it. Take it, and I'm humbled. So thank you.
Well, and as we were just saying, Mattison draft, Thor draft. That brings me
to my good friend Tyler Forness. I just wanted to wish you a happy 100th episode of the Real Forno Show. From working with you at NBC and now having the show with you on Score North, the draft show that we do together, it's been a real pleasure and honor seeing you work your way up. Obviously, all the cool things you're doing on Vikings Wire and the stuff we're doing together at SKOL. It's just been really cool seeing you grind your way up and everything like that. You're a hell of a guy outside of the work that you do. It's a privilege to call you a friend, even outside the sports writing. Wanted to wish you a happy 100th episode and to many more.
Wow. That was really nice. I'm a little taken aback of all the nice words. I'll be honest. So we're gonna kind of transition, I guess, back into running backs. So let's talk about Ty Chandler. Ty Chandler for me is the best running back not named Alexander Mattison in this room. And by the end of the season, I honestly think Ty Chandler has a chance to be the best running back in this room.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a really explosive first step, and I'm trying to learn more about like little nuances of football play. And one of the things that I'm trying to work on is understanding footwork and how like utilize different footwork for different runs. And Luke Braun was on the show earlier, and he's talked to me a decent amount about running back footwork. And I don't have a great grasp on it yet as far as understanding the difference between like zone, duo, and like running power, RPOs. Like there's footwork for everything. And I'm trying to learn some of that stuff. But he said that Chandler's footwork was brutal last preseason, which is kind of funny because he was very effective last preseason, and there was real talk of cutting Mattison because Chandler played so well. And I really think with his explosiveness, his size, I mean, he's 6'2", 215. He's great catching the ball out of the backfield in that passing game, and he can pass block as well. That kind of combination for a 5th-round pick is really surprising, but one of the two reasons why he didn't get drafted earlier. One, he didn't break out until he got to transfer for year 5, and he was a star at North Carolina. 2, he's actually older than Alexander Mattison, and Madison's been in the league 4 years. He's a little bit of an older player, but because he also doesn't have a lot of tread on the tires, I think he only had like 580 total touches in the college ranks. That's not a lot for a running back. And like just Jonathan Taylor had almost 1,000 touches in 3 seasons coming out as a 21-year-old. That kind of tread on the tires makes a difference. Narcifius, yeah, he is that big.
Hold on. Who have we got now?
Oh boy. You're going to kill me tonight, Dave. You're going to kill me.
Hey, it's not me. There he is, Mr. Justin Day.
Congratulations, Forno. Congratulations, Dave. I hope someday somebody will have enough on me to clown me with guest here, recording here. We're just going to cut right into the middle of your talking about running backs and be like, yo, what's up, Justin? In all seriousness, I ain't going to clomp on you too much here, but Dave asked me to come on and give you some crap. So, Fabio Forness, congratulations. I wish I had locks. That's why I'm giving you crap about it, because I sure ain't got no locks like that. But in all seriousness, congratulations, and thank you for allowing me to be part of this family, so to speak. Thank you to all the viewers who have supported Vikings First and SKOL, both in this iteration and the previous, and who also support Purple and Gold for days. As Dave has said, and brilliantly yesterday at the end of his solo show, you people in the chat make this worthwhile and make this fun. We all love giving our opinions about the Vikings and how we're going to do this and that and win us a Super Bowl before we die. But just want to say thank you and congratulations to you, Tyler.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's I'm actually getting some deja vu right now because like I think I dreamed this like 3 months ago. like, you ever have that happen where like I have this happen a decent amount and it floors me every time. I'm like, wait a second, I remember this. And when you came on the screen and then I looked down and Odie's sitting at my feet and not behind me chewing on a bone. I'm like, oh my gosh. But in all honesty, thank you. I appreciate it. I do have the locks. I worked in the restaurant business for 10 years, and you don't want to deal with this kind of long hair or growing it out. So I dealt with it running a liquor store, and now that I have it, it's still annoying, but it's pretty cool. And You can Photoshop my hair on your head anytime.
Yeah. Well, you know what they call that, Tyler? They call that a good problem to have.
Yes.
They call that a good problem to
Yeah,
have.
I
Because
know.
some of us would love, I was going to say, some of us would love to have that problem. But what's up, Mary? What's up, Change? What's up, Norsevius? Worthless Opinion, Dan. I only see the ones up on the screen since I got in here. So I know there's more people in here than that. But thanks, everybody. But in all seriousness, keep it rocking, man. I mean, you guys just started this channel. You guys are 3/4 away to 1,000 already. It just goes to show that you put out good content, people will come and they'll flock to you. So with all that being said, thanks for having me. And here's to the next 100, Tyler.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. We will see you soon.
All righty. Y'all have a great night. Everybody in the chat, thanks as always for the support. We love you. SKOL Vikes.
SKOL Vikings.
All right. So let me address a couple things in the comments. One, Norcephus, one ball, and I think you meant Lupagus. I think that might be for Matthew, who they've been giving a bunch of grief to.
However, I need to send that to them. That would be funny.
I find that hilarious. Gary, we found that, so this new setup is only like a week and a half old. For us, I got this Friday the 16th, I think it was. So after the Monday show where everything went great, the Wednesday show apparently needed a firmware update, and that's where the echo was coming from. At least we think, because the update fixed it. And yeah, we're good to go. All my audio has been great, both here and elsewhere since that weird Wednesday night episode. And I love that Dan calls it a champagne problem, because that's what Kwesi Ofamensa called Justin Jefferson's contract. So let's continue Ty Chandler. If he can fix that footwork that Luke was talking about, and I'm going to hopefully understand a little bit more about it as we come up to the season, because it's just not something I'm super familiar with. Look, we're all learning the game of football here, and I think Chandler has the best potential. But let's transition to guy who's going to be trying to take that spot as well, who currently has a leg up, and that is Kene Nwangwu.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, Nwangwu was getting second team reps in camp, mandatory minicamp. There's only so much you can read into that. How much of that is that he's earned it, and how much of that is they want to see what he can do with it?
Right.
We don't know. And we're going to know the longer training camp sets in, because it's going to be more of a meritocracy as things go on, because you're preparing for the season. You obviously want to have a fair competition. You want to have things processed that way. At the end of the day, you have to be able to see, okay, this guy is doing this, so he earns this spot. Like, it's not always you're playing the best guy right away. You want to see how players do in situations. And Nwangwu getting those second team reps, I don't know. Judd thinks that it's a real thing, that we need to take this really serious. I think we need to take it serious too. I don't think, he is smirking. He's up to something. He's been up to something all night, Davey. We know that. It's producer Dave. He's got a glass of bourbon. He's up to something. I really don't know how much of that is meritocracy versus we need to see what he can do, because he's in year 3. And even though he was a developmental back, he needs to start developing. And his vision last year was so poor in the preseason. Like, in my first rendition of a 53-man roster projection, I didn't have him making the roster. And that's because of what his play was. I didn't think he was good enough. Mm-hmm. And there's so many little nuances to the running back position, but there's a reason he only got 9 carries last year. There's a reason why they're not trying to use him in the screen game, despite him being a really dynamic athlete and tremendous in space, as his return ability shows. There's so much more to that. And we talk about with the Mattison thing, him being a one-trick pony. Nwangwu is a one-trick pony. Mattison's a well-rounded back. If you're only going to use Mattison in the screen game, don't you think the defense is going to figure that out? And they're going to stop it. They're going to stifle you. They're going to rotate the coverage on the back, and they're going to send a safety up to basically snipe him in the hole. And that's a problem. So Can Nwangwu develop as a running back? Yes. Will he? No clue yet. I need more information to be able to answer that question with any form of like honesty. I just don't know. And that's part of the mystery of this running back room. If he figures it out, this running back room could be really, really good because he's got that kind of game-breaking potential. But there's so many technical elements of playing running back that matter so much more than just breakaway speed, vision, decision-making. Those are the biggest ones.
The ability to set up your blockers, right? That was Adrian Peterson's deal right at the beginning. He'd run up the ass end of Steve Hutchinson. And Steve told him, no, you just wait. And it's the ability to not only see where the holes are, but to allow your blockers to get in there and do their job. And that's all part of it as well. And that may be part of his problem. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it in the preseason. Now, when the Vikings drafted Kene, do you remember who was talking, who used to be part of Blue Chip Scouting that you two talked about when we were talking here?
No, I don't. It's probably Harbaugh.
Hey, Forno, if you see me looking above here and not keeping good eye contact like you do so well throughout your show, except when I'm texting you random BS throughout it, I am at work, so give me a break there. But that being said, buddy, congrats on 100 the Real Forno shows. You have taken opportunity after opportunity and you run with it. You give your heart and soul to it, just like the way you are as a husband, as a dog dad with Odie. Caitlin, you're amazing for her as well, obviously. We won't talk about the personal stuff because I don't want you to think I actually like you at all. But real talk, 100 shows of anything is fantastic. Everything we've been through, especially you, the ups and downs. We've made it to Senior Bowls. We've made it to Zoom calls, podcasts, shows, different sites. You and I were always a package deal, buddy. And while that's not the case at the moment, I can't say that I would still be doing this if it weren't for you. You lead the way. You're a great example. You show us how it should be done day in, day out. You've carved out a great niche with your Vikings content, your Vikings fans. You saw an area of opportunity and you took it and you ran with it. One day I'm hoping to do the same, obviously, but until then, I have no problem riding your coattails. And we will forever stand Jaron Hall, Malik Willis, and whoever the next quarterback that won't pan out will be. You and I will be right there together the whole time, hyping them up. So can't wait for the next one, Forness, and we'll see you, buddy.
That next one's Austin Reed, Western Kentucky. Book it. I love Austin. Former West Florida national champion 2019, baby. Won a D2 national title. Oh, Harbs is the best. And I love how he makes it sound like he doesn't like me. Well, he's already made me feel that way. Harbs, you still failed to come out and visit after booking the trip. How many times is it now? Like 4 or 5?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're in the comments, buddy. So that one's for you. But thank you for the kind words. He's right. I have taken every opportunity I can possibly get my hands on. And I'll be honest, if anybody wants to try and make it in this space and make it a full-time job, take everything you can get. Everything. Because you never know which door is going to open up to make so you can make this a full-time thing. You never know. You never know.
Eyes that you made Locked On Vikings roundtable today?
I did see that. The Minnesota football party. They Sam Ekstrom, who I don't know if he likes me because I've written a couple articles based on his bad opinions.
Sam's a good guy.
Oh, you know what? He seems like a very good guy, and he clapped back at me for one of them, and it was a Hendon Hooker take, and I tweeted out their show, and then I'm like, including a nice little playful jab about Hendon Hooker from Sam, and like, nah, he's a good guy, but he's giving me some content right now because like some of his opinions are just like he's trying to create content, and I think that's where they're coming from. But
hey,
nah, he's a good guy.
Arif called you the party foul, And Arif, as we saw earlier, says, because your opinions are wrong. Maybe Sam believes the same thing.
Wait, he called me on the party foul?
Yes, you are the party foul for today. Arif roasted you. Luke roasted you.
I need to finish that once we're done here, because I got about halfway through the episode and then we ended up here and Odie is just sitting at my door wanting to leave. Poor guy. He's been in here for like 4 hours today while I've been working. I feel for him.
My worthless opinion, I wish I had Sam. No, I did not contact him. I wish I'd thought about it. It would be great. Gary, yes, the heat wave would be nice to break. Sweaty ball syndrome is nasty, but I know how to deal with it. I spent, a good third of my adult life over in the sandbox. It's the Middle East for those that don't know. And I have tips and tricks to keep cool down under. And yes, I am wearing pants.
Good old pants.
Yes.
Good old pants.
Speaking of pants, we have Matt Anderson.
Hey Tyler, congrats on your 100th show of the Real Forno Show. A lot of hard work and dedication that you've put in to get to this point. Keep going strong. Hope to see you soon, pal.
Matt, I'm glad to see he's doing well. He had to leave us at Vikings Wire for some other opportunities, and it's nice to see that he's still going strong. So thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. Okay, so where were we? Oh, we got to talk about Dwayne
running backs.
We got to talk about Dwayne McBride, 7th round pick. So big thing, Dave, with Dwayne McBride. He had a starter grade from the Vikings, and I completely agree with that. When you watch him, he runs like a car wreck. And like it's almost like he's the truck in the demo derby. And I'm not talking like a monster truck. I'm just talking like a normal, like 94 Silverado ramming into like a Malibu. Like he's just a bigger dude. Sometimes you'll stop him. Most of the times he's just going to run over or through you.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really talented football player.
Oh, we see ears peeking up.
Oh, did you see him?
Yeah.
Odie, you make that choice? Come here, sweet boy. Come here, Odie. I wish I still had my banana. I'd tempt him with a piece of banana and I'd grab him. But we may have to start the show with him next week because he does not like me picking him up during the show. He knows, and he don't like you. But
you should build a ramp. Let him climb up.
Oh, he won't want to climb up. He doesn't like sitting on my lap. He likes to sleep next to me with barely touching my leg. That's his thing.
Hey, Dr. Proto, nothing wrong with that. You're still 24 years young.
Boom. Absolutely. I'm still 24. And even though I'm 33, I'm 24. I have the hair of a 24-year-old. I mean, look at the hairline. Look at this. This hairline's phenomenal.
I had hair when I was 24.
Look, I know I'm lucky as hell to have this hairline. I say that all the time when people say that. I'm like, yeah, I was blessed with a great hairline. The only downside is I have organs explode inside of my body.
Hey.
I'd say that's a fair trade-off. I ain't dead. All right. So big thing with Dwayne McBride. He was never used in the passing game. He was barely used as a blocker, and then as an actual pass catcher. He caught 5 passes on 9 targets for 25 yards.
Yeah, but wasn't that because of the offense?
They never used him. Well, here's the thing. We didn't get a chance to really see workouts from him because he had a hamstring injury. So you had this massive variable going in. And then all of a sudden you have this other variable. So like when you're working on a math problem, you want to try and figure out one variable so then you can use that to figure out the other variable, right? Well, if you can't figure out the one variable because of an injury, you can't answer the other one. So it makes it really tough. I'm taking a look at McBride's film and like, okay, I think, and I use those air quotes because I think he can do it. I have no freaking clue if he can, because he had a hurt hamstring. He didn't test it all. And because he didn't test, he didn't run drills, didn't do anything at the combine. Those are huge parts of your evaluation when you have to answer something like that. If he would have been able to answer that with performing well in drills, be like, yeah, they just never used me in that, I can do it. McBride probably goes end of round 3 and early round 4, because that's where his talent lies, if not higher. But because of all those things where he had one variable that affected him solving another variable, that matters. Mm-hmm. Dave, that matters a lot. And I think that's really, really important when it comes to having the discussion about what McBride's potential is. He needs to learn those things. And if he has the aptitude for it, it'll happen a lot quicker. But if he doesn't have the aptitude for it, well, what do you have? You have a running back who's going to be a dynamo on first and second down, but you have to take him off on third down. That worked in 1997. How's that going to work in today's game? Can he be a suitable player in a rotation? I don't know, Dave. I really don't. And to me, that's a problem. And that's what's got fans like me all excited about seeing what happens in preseason. Those preseason games. How does he look? How does he run? How does he take plays where he gets thrown the ball? How does he do it pass protection? You know, stuff like that. That's what Dave, I'm gonna try and pick up the dog, so you're gonna have to hold this for a minute, okay?
Okay, you pick up the dog. I've got it. But first,
Tyler Forno's podcast is called The Real Forno Show, and I feel like he's missing out on some humor regarding porn. Why not call it The Hardcore Forno Show? Or Your Favorite Forno? Or The Football Fornicators Show? People are always bugging me to do big deck energy and other jokes like that, and I think he should do something funny and memorable with the show name. What do you think?
Folks, that was Tyler Ireland from the Daily Norseman. He's one of the new writers over there. And he was picking on Tyler just a couple of days ago, and I had him record what he had written and seen on the web. And there he is, the star of the show.
His name is Odie. He hates this, by the way. Yeah, he is making noises like, Dad, I hate you. Put me down. Put me down.
But Odie, you are so photogenic.
Oh, he's the most beautiful dog of all time. And I will fight anybody who says otherwise. They're just probably hyping up their own dog. Right, buddy? Odie, say bye-bye. Bye.
Bye, Odie.
Okay. I know, sweet boy. Okay. There you go, man. Oh, there you go. You did good for Dad. Yeah. All right. Well, that was very nice from Tyler. So I had kind of thought of,
and I know we talked about some of it beforehand, before setting up the real, you know, if we call it the football fornicators. Yes.
Yeah.
That would have been.
I didn't want to do a show with a title that could be like that, because to kind of take like that, there's a level of professionalism you need to have. And there's a like, you can make jokes, you can do things, but you're going to limit your ceiling by having a name that's associated with anything porn. Even if it's just a play on words and a joke. Let's be honest. Forno, porno. I have heard it before. I don't know if you know that. I've heard it pretty much my entire life. It's fine. But when you look at just trying to grow the show, you're just going to have a ceiling because people aren't going to want to. Same happened with what is now Impact Wrestling. Mm-hmm. Their first iteration of the company was TNA, Total Nonstop Action. Well, what does TNA also stand for, Dave? Yeah, it limits you because people will take you less seriously. And even though those were tremendous and, I kind of missed out on that, I thought it would potentially limit me professionally. And that's why the Real Forno Show worked.
And the whole purpose of this and why I believe so much in you is that you've turned what turned out to be a hobby into a career. And there's something to be said about that. where that you followed your dreams. You did the hard work. You didn't go to journalism school at such and such university. No.
Nope.
You put in the elbow grease. You did all the work. You met another achievement. You published over 2,500 articles already, right?
That's pretty cool.
How many people have done that? I've written a shit ton in my life. I don't know if I've reached that number yet. That is a lot. And you're making your dreams come true. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. I support it. I want to help you grow. And this being your 100th episode, by far, is just a milestone, a small stepping stone on the way to greater and better things. And I'm glad that I am a part of that and that you are busting your tail. Next thing we need, Vikings need to get you that credential.
And we're working on it. I'm going to talk to Judd before I submit my application, have him directly talk, or maybe I just have him submit the application for me and I just go through Score North and I just do my own Vikings Wire stuff. I'm not sure, but yeah, we are working on it. But I think unless you have anything else, Dave, I think that's our show.
Hold on.
Happy 100 to the Real Forno and the Real Forno Show, man. Definitely one of the best bosses I've ever had. Congratulations, and here's to 1,000 more of these, man. Amazing.
Yes. 1,000 more, buddy. I can't agree more.
Well, I am extremely humbled by everybody that's taking time out to thank or congratulate me today. I was just going to mention it offhand, and it turned out to be a big part of the show. So thank you very much. I'm very humbled and appreciative of everybody who's taking time to join the show, to watch, to listen, and to support me in my goals of never having to go clock in at a job, and I can make my job football. And
you're one of the hardest working SOBs I know of. Keep it up.
I will keep it up, and it's cool. This is my 4th hour recording today, and then I've written like 4 other pieces, and I've edited a bunch. And look, the only way I know how to do something is by putting everything I have into it. And well, that's what you get from Vikings Wire, and that's why we're up 75% year over year. And it's really cool to kind of see people wanting to read all of our content and wanting to watch and listen to all these shows. And everybody says like I couldn't do it without everybody, but there's no way I could do it without everybody actually engaging with me, wanting to read my work and listen to it. And there won't ever be enough words to say how grateful I am to be where I'm at. I don't care how much I worked hard and I earned it. That in this sense, that doesn't matter. I'm very grateful to be where I am for a lot of reasons, including nearly dying 4 years ago, which is honestly what spurned this whole thing. I started writing because I was 8 hours away from my death, sitting in a hospital in Maple Grove, and they cut out my appendix. And now I'm here.
You got a family. They all watch. We see them in the remarks. They read. You see them online. And we want you to continue and do a fantastic job further and further into, your career. And on the Vikings. And not just the Vikings. You do your wrestling. The Hungy.
Your show today talking about the best wrestling pay-per-view of all time, Forbidden Door. That was 2 of the hours recording today. Oh my gosh, Dave. It's the final countdown. If you are a wrestling fan, you know what that means and you know why that's special. I would recommend it. Look, it's a $50 pay-per-view. That's a lot of money. if you have ever loved professional wrestling, if you have ever been a smark where you watched a lot of professional wrestling over the last 20 years, this is arguably the greatest show of all time. And if it's not the greatest show of all time, it's in the pantheon. Buy the show. It's phenomenal. And you get arguably the greatest match of all time in Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega 2. Just like, this isn't a wrestling show, but I can't watch the show.
Passion. You can't buy that elsewhere.
Watch the show. Watch it
right here. Hey, buddy, what do we say?
Well, Dave, I can't remember. I think it might have been Norcephus saying it. Yeah, he did. That you are the glue, and he's right. I can spout my opinions anywhere, but you make me look good, and you make me sound good, and you distribute it and make sure it goes to all the right places. So, you are just as big a part of this as me. So thank you. And with that, we say SKOL Vikings.
SKOL Vikings. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notifications. It helps us grow this community that we all love, our Minnesota Vikings. And on behalf of Tyler Forness and myself, Dave Stefano, thank you so dearly for watching The Real Forno Show. SKOL, everyone.